Good morning. It is Monday morning and I am on the way to the train station, catching a train to Oxford today. I once again have a week off and I'll use this week to travel. Today, as already mentioned, I'll catch the train to Oxford, and then tonight in Oxford I will meet my family. Yes, they came around, my parents and a few of my sisters, and they got themselves a mobile home and currently are driving through England. So I will be travelling with them for a few days. South England and probably a bit of Wales. Hey there! So in the meantime I arrived in Oxford, as you might be able to see in the background. I got off the train station, went to the tourist information and got myself a tour guide for Oxford. And I now have been walking around Oxford for, I don't know, an hour, probably even more, and I will continue doing that, as by popular request, which asked me not to rush through the cities I'm visiting, but rather to, you know, take it slower. I'm now, stay here, it's windy, I'm on my glide cam. I'm now going to show you around Oxford. In this shot we can see Christ Church College on the left and Merton College in front of Merton Field on the right. Merton College being one of the 3 oldest colleges in Oxford, having been found in the 13th century. I then continued walking through the park and soon encountered a brace of ducks. They encircled me, but when they figured out I had no bread to share, they left me alone and went their way. One of the first things I then visited was the University Church of St. Mary the Virgin. Even though some minor repair works were carried out at the time, the church was able to show off its beautiful 13th century Gothic style. I then left the church northwards and onto Radcliffe Square. From here you get the view for which Oxford is probably the best known for: Radcliffe Camera and the All Souls College. While the Radcliffe Camera is part of the Bodleian Library, the All Souls College is a bit more special. It is the only of the 38 colleges in Oxford which doesn't take undergraduate students. The examination to actually become a fellow is said to be one of the most difficult in the world. This leads to the situation that there are only about a dozen fellows on the college at any given time. However, once you pass the examinations and became member, you are free to study whatever you like in all of Oxford. The next stop on my tour then was the Bodleian Library itself. It is the second biggest library in the UK with over 11 million items and one of the oldest libraries in all of Europe. The main building, having been constructed in the early years of the 17th century, used to be divided into the fields of study. However, over time those divisions were abandoned. Other buildings joined under the roof of the Bodleian Library, and today it is divided into 5 main buildings as well as off-site storage areas. I then continued my tour through Oxford. I passed underneath the Venetian Bridge, I peeked around some very old corners, and I walked past many of the plenty of colleges in Oxford. One of the colleges I had a closer look at was Christ Church. Having been established in 1546, it was until quite recently always considered the most aristocratic college in Oxford. An anecdote worth mentioning here is that every day at 9:05 p.m. the bells in the tower ring 101 times. This is to commemorate the 101 original scholars of the college. And the 5 minutes past 9? Well, technically speaking, Oxford is 5 minutes behind Greenwich Mean Time. And in the oldest university of the country, people like to be precise about those things. I then continued walking around Oxford and discovering a few more hidden corners, of course including 2 more churches. I spent the last 3 hours in the Starbucks in Oxford. trying to kill some time, and I'm now walking back to the station. And I have to say, after having been one day in Oxford for the sightseeing, 3 hours would have done the job. Anyway, I'm now on the way down to the train station, where I will be picked up by my parents, who hopefully are finally in Oxford with their mobile home. And then we will be travelling for the next few days. So this is the history faculty in Oxford. Can please someone tell me why it is not standard in all the universities? I mean, like, how hard can it be?